As we talk about 2019, here's just a quick list of some of the things I'm thinking about. When we start talking about corn, I think, you know what, there might be more acres of corn, at least that's what it looks like today, which means there's probably more need for traits like smart stacks. It's going to be cheap HPPD, meaning we'll probably have more carryover, more resistance. We've got new aphid products like Safina and Transform. Wheat, I think about that. We got to have more pre-emerge use to stop tough weeds like kochia. There's also stripe rust and other insects out there. Hopefully in soybeans we get enlist, but unfortunately we've also gotten water hemp and Palmer pigweed. So we got to take a look at that. And the last couple things for 2019 on my list were make sure you're running trials on your farm and make sure you are telling the story of agriculture.
I'm going to start with the trials there, Brian, because as we're moving into a new age of farming, we've got great digital tools. All we have to do is keep track of where we put things, and you can just plug it right into a lot of the programs that you're using on the farm. It's never been easier to do trial work on your own farm, track it all the way through the season, even using daily satellite imagery to see how those differences shake out throughout the season. It was really fun this fall harvesting and seeing how some of the trials turned out. I would strongly encourage you, do those trials on your farm too.
We're seeing more soybean aphid resistance, so the big thing I wanted to talk about on my list was Safina and Transform. Safina is the new BSF product, different mode of action than Transform, but they're very, very similar products. They're going to kill aphids, a couple other insects, that's about it, and pretty easy on the beneficials. So these are great products if you are worried about aphid resistance on your farm.
I'm more worried about weed resistance, Brian. You mentioned a couple of the tough resistant weeds that we've got and getting a new tool labeled. I'm excited about the Enlist crop system and that getting approval hopefully going forward on a wide scale across the country in soybeans. That way we can start using not only the new 2,4-D choline, but also Liberty at the same time. You look at any of the weed control programs we have for soybeans, they have one effective mode of action going out in a single spray. We need to have at least two.
When we talk about multiple modes of action, I think a lot about corn. The HPPDs now are so cheap, we're just really worried about overuse of them, which is going to lead to more carryover and more resistance problems than we've seen in the past. And we have seen both of those things in the past. So we want you to use HPPDs. They're cheap. Going into 2019, we will absolutely use them on our farm, but we're going to throw them with at least a couple other modes of action. That's going to basically safen that whole program so I don't have to use a super high rate, I don't have to worry about carryover, and I'm not as worried about weed resistance developing.
One other thing for 2019, there have been a lot of changes in the seed treatment industry, and there are new products that are coming out that are working better, both microbial products and chemistry type products to control certain diseases. So take a look at that with the seed that you're ordering here for 2019 season. And look at what those seed treatments are. Investigate what each of the components does, because there's a broad range of new products and a wide difference between seed companies and what they're offering.
Even though commodity prices probably aren't where you want them today, and you know, let's face it, are they ever going to get to where you really want them? Here's the point. I don't care what commodity prices are. I do care about what I can control on my farm. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have better commodity prices for me, but I'm simply saying we always need to take a look at return on investment and make the best decisions we possibly can on our farm, because we're still the ones in control on our farm. We still can have a good year in 2019 if we manage things really well. Obviously, if margins are squeezed, we got to get to be as good of managers as we possibly can be to do well. But I am saying I'm excited about 2019. I think there's a lot of potential. Depending on how we do on all our trade issues and everything else as a country, I think 2019 can have better prices. I know we can do a better job with yields as we continue to get smarter and have better genetics, better traits, better crop protection products. I just think this is an exciting time to be involved in agriculture.
We're super excited going into 2019, and one of the things that we can do a really good job at is controlling our weed of the week. We'll show you how to do that coming up next.